Hello, welcome back to Meakashi for your Saturday episode. It's actually already Saturday. I'm recording at 1:15 a.m. so this is an Omega late stream, but I do want to get a Saturday episode out, so we can do it. I'm tired but not too tired. Though the last couple episodes have been like pretty long. Like last one was an hour and 20-30 minutes. But I guess time flies when you're having fun, right? But hopefully it doesn't go that long because I am again not too tired, but I wouldn't mind sleeping. But also, I had to record today because wait for it, boop, I was visited by a cicada. So that's literally a sign to record Higurashi in the afternoon. So I was like, yep, definitely gotta record now that I'm blessed with it. Thanks, buddy. Luckily, it didn't cry. It was just chilling and then flew away for like half an hour. So yeah, let's last time, obviously last chapter was pretty intense, so I do feel like that's just the precursor to what's going to happen. Obviously after the torture, Shion found out that Satoshi was was or is missing. There we go. And she's freaking out. It's kind of reminiscent of Keiichi freaking out in on Akakushi. Though from what we've seen of Shion, I'm pretty sure instead of Keiichi, who kind of goes on the defensive. Well, I mean, he does kind of go on the aggressive, but I feel like Shion would probably do a bit more than that. I suspect, obviously, a talk with Mion is probably going to happen about it. Maybe some of the other Sonozakis, mother, father. I don't know if she'll even get in touch with Oryu because she's actually not allowed in Hinamizawa, but yeah, I'm definitely expecting a Mion talk, maybe a Satoko talk. Oishi's here, kind of dropping his Sonozaki theory, which again, I am not trusting of him with anything really regarding the Sonozakis, just as how tunnel visioned he is, but it is a pretty good theory. I still think like my three suspects are Oishi, the Sonozakis, and like Irie, plus outsider group. Like that would also include like Takano, but we haven't seen Takano. Even though she was kind of a big part of Watanabe, at least more than in. I mean, I guess they're all equal, but that was the part where they dropped the corpse question with her. So maybe we'll see her more. But I guess you can save her for the future arcs to answer her questions about her. But let's get into this. Let's see how Shion pilots this. Again, she's smart. But when it comes to Satoshi, she kind of loses herself. So I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get again. Kind of crazy like Keiichi, but more aggressive. Continue. Chapter 8. I don't know how far that is. The good old lamp. Like I said, always comes to this. I was tempted of just using that as a thumbnail for the previous video. Maybe I should have. Was there anything else? I feel like there isn't. Okay, let's just get into this with the
今なんて
Oh,
信頼できる筋の噂ですが、サトシ君の叔母殺しの犯人が見つかったらしいです。
Shion also did mention in a previous hint that Oishi's theory would be blown apart. I don't know if it was referring to this, because this is always suspicious of who this random person is, because obviously it's hard to believe this random is the murderer. But again, plausible motivation, just some crazy nut who wanted to continue the curse. And it kind of works with everyone. Like, again, if Sonozaki's can force someone to do it, it's kind of counterproductive with Oishi if he wanted to get, like, Shion against the Sonozakis, if that happens. So I think it kind of takes a little bit off of Oishi's involved with the Satoshi thing, though he could be involved and this is just some other thing that's happening. Maybe, like, the Sonozakis are trying to cover up the murder and this is their doing, but someone else was responsible for Satoshi's disappearance, something like that. But yeah, this is the interesting part. Again, it's not someone we know. We just know he, I guess, confessed, or they caught him, and he admitted to doing it to continue the curse stuff. So see how everyone reacts to that. It had been a few weeks since the murder. Satoshi-kun still hadn't been found. I had no new information on his whereabouts, so we are time skipping a bit, which is interesting. Looks like she's a little bit more calm, though I'm sure if someone actually comes with Satoshi information or something, she'll probably lose her composure again. Kase's report came, as a result, completely out of the blue.
それって警察が逮捕したって意味？
聞いた話では
Bro,
逮捕というより別件で取り調べを受けていた
the
男が
freaking
余罪
giant
として
bear
自供したんだ
in
とか
Xian's room just bothers me with all that giant bear talk, but I'm sure it's not the same thing, or that would be like a hilarious visual cue that everyone probably just writes off. But it doesn't really make sense, so. But I still think it's kind of funny. Okay. Ah, so it was by accident. That sounded strange. If it was Satoshi-kun they arrested, he wouldn't have worded it that way. It sounded as though Satoshi-kun wasn't the culprit.
葛西、結局犯人って誰だったの？
Does he have a name? So it wasn't Satoshi-kun. Okay, so she was excited because she thought Satoshi-kun got caught. Sorry, I guess I was just jumping the gun because we know it wasn't. We know beforehand that it wasn't Satoshi-kun who got convicted for it. I swallowed those final words. I was convinced that it was Satoshi-kun. The police and Oishi must have thought the same way. The reason Oishi approached me is because he was convinced that Satoshi-kun did it. Damn, I'm really liking the idea that the Sonozakis probably did this while, like, Oishi or someone else did the disappearance. Because I really don't feel like the Sonozakis are responsible for it. I don't know why. Logically, they still should be, but who knows? I don't know. It feels like also Rena knew what happened to him, so would she really still be friends with, like, Mion and stuff?
サトシ君ではないようですよ
Though if she's partners with Shion, then I guess that doesn't really matter.
連続開始事件を模倣した異常者の犯行というような話みたいです
Thanks, lunatic.
はい何それ？
Sorry, Shion. Kasai shrugged.
さあ
Okay.
私もそれ以上は
I was just making sure I forgot to take the picture of the cicada off. That would have been awkward. I love you, buddy, but
何しろ今回の事件は
not the time.
秘匿捜査指定というものがかかっているんだそうですなのでほとんど情報が出回らないんです
秘匿捜査？
Bam, bam. Well, we do know that they don't like to talk about the police anyways, don't like to share details of this stuff because it's bringing bad press to the village.
何それ？
連続開始事件による村への風評被害対策ということらしいです
Obviously drinking water. It's too late for anything fancy.
誘拐事件なんかでも犯人との交渉が行われている間は新聞に載らなかったりする
I
でし
mean,
ょ
it's usually sugar-free drinks, but still. Water is always just
ああいう
better
類
at
のも
night.
のらしいです
This late. Yeah, okay. Just double checking that. Come to think of it, I hadn't seen anything about the aunt's murder on TV or in the newspaper.
何しろ4年連続で綿流しの日に事件が起こっているわけですからね。お社様のたたりだと騒いで面白がる輩も多いそうですし。そうそう、何でもそのおば殺しの異常者ですが、連続開始事件を模倣したくて行ったと自供したんだとか。
Kasai didn't know anything else, so instead of probing him further, I reviewed the information myself. I was really shocked to learn all this. I was convinced that Satoshi-kun killed her. Me too. I mean, I still am, but who knows? I thought that was the reason he had to disappear. But it was actually some lunatic who killed her, and he had no relation to the aunt whatsoever. So, Satoshi-kun had nothing to do with the murder? If so, why did he disappear? That'd be interesting if... Because I always assumed that it was because he killed the person. But, like, what if the motive for making him disappear was different? And then if it was Oishi, it would be too. But even Oishi would assume he did it, but... I don't know. Can't really think of anything. I mean, it's like with Keiichi in Honor Takashi. It's not like he killed someone and that's why he was targeted. He was targeted for something else. But again, I just, unlike Keiichi, for Satoshi at least, we don't see people going all spooky mode on him like they did with Keiichi. So that's also interesting. Unless like Mion is doing it by herself. And who knows about Rena. And what's really strange is the phrase Kasa used 4 years in a row now. After all, I'd been thinking that this murder happened because Satoshi-kun had been in a dire situation and had nothing to do with the series of mysterious deaths. I felt as though Satoshi-kun's case had become somebody else's. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa is also known as the Curse of Oyashiro-sama. Satoshi-kun's case had become one of those mysterious deaths. In other words, Satoshi-kun's case had become a part of Oyashiro-sama's curse. I didn't like the way that sounded, because it was as though the curse had swallowed Satoshi-kun. Back to the police station. I mean, I guess that would be the first response.
残念ながら例の東京行きの新幹線に乗ったらしいという情報も確認が取れないままです。正直なところ、県の中にいるのか外にいるのか、それすらも分かっちゃいません。
I think when they talked about the information they do know about that a person went to the booth looking for his lost wallet, said he was Satoshi, then ripped up his name and changed it to another one. I did say that can be easily just, like, if they don't... I mean, it's a teenager boy, but you feel like the Sonozakis or literally any of the suspects I said could probably arrange something for that. So, like, easily just have somebody else do that and just do those moves. It's not like he showed identification or anything, right? Oishi broke the seal on a new can of instant coffee.
あれだけ胸を張ってサトシ君が犯人だと息巻いていたからもう行方をつかんでるとばかり思ってました。
I've not had coffee in like half a year. It's been so freaking long.
いやいや、情けない限りです。
Oishi chuckled and poured a cup of coffee, which looked far too hot.
しかし耳が早いな。
はい。
一くそうさしてだってのにどこの誰が漏らしてるやら。やれやれ。
Well, we know, well, I know that you have sources in the Sonozakis too. I mean, I guess Shion does too, because
うちの
Oishi
傍聴も問題があるな。
kind of revealed that last episode. Oishi smirked. Seemed he knew why I was here today. let's hear Oishi's take on it. I don't know if he ever actually commented on this from Keiichi. I think he just mentioned about I think he just said it as a matter of fact while listing the murders. Like, oh, then the next year, some lunatic killed the aunt and the nephew disappeared. I don't think he actually explained on that. So this should be fun.
まあ
I guess if
腐って
he
もその
was
先の端く
using
れですので
Satoshi, then probably shouldn't tell Keiichi about that since he was using Keiichi. Or maybe he was using Keiichi. And then who knows? Oishi and Anutakashi was like the friendliest version, obviously excluding the Himatsubushi version.
多少の噂は耳にできますということで
But I mean, he was definitely using it. That's my take. I know I'm so flip-floppy on Oishi. And that's why I like him. He's a cool guy. I smirked back at him. It's all about bluffing.
まあいいか。腹を割り合った仲ですしね。いいですよ。おしゃべりしましょ
Sure, buddy.
う。うん。
まず聞かせてください。真犯人って一体何者です？異常者とか聞きましたけど、それってどういうことですか？
どういうことって言われたってね。そりゃ私だって言いたいですよ。私はサトシ君が犯人の一点読みでしたからね。
Oops. Sorry about
と
that.
んだ万馬券が飛び出したもんです。
Yeah, I'm sure. Oishi threw himself on the sofa and crossed his hands behind his head. He looked up at the ceiling and smiled wryly.
先日ですね、
Ooh,
県警の方から急に連絡が来たんですよ。
it's spooky. Or more tense than spooky.
すでに逮捕して取り調べをしている男が主婦殺しを自供したって。
Okay, so they weren't the ones who busted it. It was in another prefecture. Guess it made sense. I'm sure Oishi, if the guy was lying, Oishi would probably roast him to tell the truth, but who knows how the other guys handle things.
それは何者？
薬に手を出したとんでもない野郎でしてね。出所しては捕まるの繰り返しだそうです。ひなみ沢村連続開始事件が面白そうだったんで、4年目のたたりは自分が下してみたくなった。とかなんとか。
間違いなくそいつが犯人？
私が直接話を聞いたわけじゃないんですがね。先方が取った供述調書には、いわゆる犯人しか知り得ない情報ってやつががっつりと含まれていたんですよ。
Okay, I mean, I guess they did need. Okay, this sounds pretty good. But I guess they did need like something to actually pin it on him after he confessed. So this is actually interesting, and then we have to think about why this guy has it. Again, you can do the simple answer of, well, if Oishi's the culprit, then he can just give information since he investigated the murder, and I guess he would know the best, unlike at least more than the Sonozakis, who I'm guessing weren't there watching him, but Oishi's like the 100% person who was there. And again, don't know about... Oh, no, Irie was also there. Okay, so Oishi and Irie were both there. We don't know anything about the Sonozakis being there. And then Takano's not present. So it's those two who know the most about the actual murder scene. So I should keep that in mind. Depending on what information he says, and then habit of mine where I say all this stuff and it can turn out to be useless if they don't talk about something else.
凶器を王子川のどこかで捨てたって言ってましてね。
Interesting. I guess they didn't declare the murder weapon to be the metal bat because it was in Satoshi's locker and they would have like confiscated it, so it might have been something else, or at least that's what they think, though fairly sure it was the metal bat. It goes with the metal bat assaults. I've been saying whenever I see somebody use a metal bat and other stuff, I'm being like, I've been saying, oh, he's Satoshiing it. So that would kind of ruin my adjective.
今はドブさらいの最中ですよ。これで供述通りに凶器が発見されれば完璧でしょうな。
たとえ凶器が見つからなくても、おおむね確定。
Well, I mean, if you could find Satoshi, this would be good.
確定でしょうな。
That'd be actually the perfect plan. Because then he would get away, even if he did do it.
現場の状況と仏の状況を正確に供述しています。
Okay, that's interesting.
襲った本人にしかわからないような細かいあたりまでね。
Again, the Sonozakis should have seen it, but at the same time... No, I mean, they have spies. I guess everyone could, but I don't know. I feel more Oishi and Irie to give actual details about the body and the crime scene. I guess Oishi more than Irie, but we've seen them both there. So I shouldn't just let Irie walk away. So I do need something to pin him on, since he's been so free. Because I don't have much to put on him.
納得は言ってないみたいですね。
Of course he's not. It's not the Sonozakis. It can't be right. Though again, I guess anyone. I guess I don't feel good about it either, so... Or he really did do it. Who knows? Though it would be weird if he did. Oishi's still looking up at the ceiling when quiet.
実はね、とっくに亡くなってるんですよ。うちに連絡があった時にはすでに。
What?
亡くなってる？
That makes things weird.
昼食とかに出てくるでしょ。先割れスプーン。
Sports. The ultimate cutlery. Why use a spoon or a fork when you can use a spork?
留置場の食事にもあれが出てくるんですよ。そいつを飲み込んで窒息したんだとか。
Well, that makes it a lot more complicated. At least to get any more information out of him.
自殺なのか錯乱なのか、ちょっと区別がつかないですがね。
I imagine somebody swallowing that spork and gauge. It's a spork right now. I think it's a spork. Don't need to Google that.
だから十分に納得するまで調べられたわけじゃありません。私は納得できないんですがね。上の方は十分に納得しちゃったようでした。
Of course, you just want to keep a wrap on it.
どうもその愉快犯が主婦殺しの犯人ってことで決着しそうな流れです。
Love the intense crescendo on this piece. It's like very soft, and then it just suddenly like just wakes me up. Oishi turned his eyes from the ceiling to me. He looked serious.
これは個人的な意見ですよ。
Yeah, you put this pretext, but you say it so convincingly. Obviously, it's going to bait Shion because she's so gullible for anything Satoshi related right now.
他の誰にも内緒ということで。
It always just feels scummy when they say that. It's like, this is my old theory, so don't just believe it, but then they're so convincing. But I guess it is the right thing to do. I don't know. I'm sorry, Oishi. I'm on full alert on you for now, because this is the answer arts. I need my answers. I need to know if you're on my side or not. And I feel like it's a bit of both.
この大バカたりは何かの間違いだと思ってます。何かの偶然による壮大な勘違いか、もしくは。
But it just can't be some random guy just claiming it because he knows the information. Because I was under that impression that it's just some guy looking for some fame. But if he actually knew some rock solid information, then that changes the whole thing. Should definitely look into it more. As much as you can. Guess it's hard because he's dead, but think about it more.
全然意味わかんないですよ、大石のおじさま。
At the same time, how much different is that? I mean, I guess It makes his position solid, but it doesn't really change the fact that anyone could have fed him the information. And then the Sonozakis weren't shown there, but they literally know everything, so it's not too big of a problem.
私は今でも犯人は北条聡君だと思っています。
きっぱり言い切りますね。
No evidence, though.
残念ながら現場検証では犯人を特定できるような痕跡は何一つ発見できませんでした。聡君が失踪した後、家宅捜索の許可が下りましてね。家を改めさせてももらいましたが、それでも手がかりはゼロ。
Unlucky.
それでもサトシ君が犯人だと疑ってる。
It's the old detective intuition.
ねえ。
Well, I can relate to Oishi, even though again can't fully read him right now, but I also like to trust my gut in mystery stuff, so
証拠もないのに
it's my
どうやった
detective
らそこまで人
intuition.
を殺人犯呼ばわりできるのやら。
And I agree, I think Satoshi did it.
大したもんです。長年の勘ってやつですか。
ええ。
Oops, sorry.
この道で何十年も飯を食ってきた男の直感です。
Oishi smiled in satisfaction, but I didn't feel relieved.
サトシ君はどこへ。
サトシ君が失踪した理由の一つこそが彼が犯人であるからだと固く信じていたんです。サトシ君が犯人でないならそのあたりがかなり薄れちゃいますからね。
That, of course, being if it was willingly. But if he was kidnapped, then that doesn't really matter. There could be a motive that the kidnappers think he did it.
お
Or
ば
no,
殺しの犯人はその愉快犯で、サトシ君の失踪とは無関係。
this is a good question.
サトシ君失踪は私とサトシ君の仲を裂くために園崎本家がやったもの。
As an example, but it could be something else. Honestly, I think at this point it probably is something else. But who knows?
おば殺しとは無関係という考え方は。
Was Satoshi Kon a culprit or a victim? I guess Shion didn't confront Mian because, like, it's not like she'll probably get anything out of it. Especially if they did do it, it's not like Mian's going to tell her. The reason for his disappearance had become unclear.
私は旧敵との恋仲程度で人一人を失踪させるなんてリスクを冒すとは思わないんですがね。
Same here. We know they do like torture and stuff, but I mean, what Shion did was kind of, I mean, she didn't deserve it, but I can kind of understand why they did it. And they already warned Shion not to go to Satoshi, so yeah.
実際園崎家の内部としてはどうなんです？
Also, this is weird that Oishi's not fully going on the Sonozakis. Interesting. Again, I do say that Oishi could have been doing this maliciously, but he also could just be tunnel vision in a more innocent sense, where he just truly believes that they are the masterminds for most of the crimes. Which is fine, but it's, again, like, with no ill intent. But, yeah.
シオンさんはそのあたり何かご存知？
I also want to know this. Obviously, Kasai's not gonna get anything.
知っていたらこんなとこに来ません。
Oh, guess not. There goes that.
ごもっともごもっとも。
Oishi laughed out loud while scratching his head. And after he stopped laughing, he leaned over. What's up, buddy?
よーし。なら一つどうですかね。
What's the plan?
協定を結びませんか。
Deal with the devil.
紳士協定。
I don't like this. Well, let's
協
see.
定。何のです？
Nano Desu.
サトシ君失踪事件捜査情報共有協定。裏の界隈でサトシ君の失踪に関する情報を得られたら私にも教えてください。もちろん私もサトシ君についての情報が入ったらあなたに提供します。
It's technically a win-win deal, but at the same time, the fact that Oishi's a suspect means like there's nothing really stopping him from just lying if he did it. But I mean, you should just take it anyways, just in case he's not the culprit, and he actually does give you information. But even if he's not the culprit, he'll probably leave some information out, like I think he did with like Rena and stuff in Anokatashi.
いかがです？
なんだか一方的な虫のいい話に思えますけど。
Oh, Xian's going for something juicier. Oishi chuckled.
シオンさん、このまま行くと主婦殺しの犯人はすでに死んでるその大バカタレってことで確定すると思います。
That's good for Xian, though.
そうなるとサトシ君の扱いは単なる家出人になります。
Well, if you can't find him, I guess that's bad. But that's assuming you can't find him.
つまり積極的な捜査は打ち切られるということです。ですが私だけは続けます。私だけはサトシ君の行方を引き続き探します。
I wonder if he does do that in the next year. He doesn't really mention it again, and we haven't seen any signs of that, but could be.
シオンさんも私もサトシ君の行方を探しているという点では一致してると思うんですがね。
All we know about Xian and Satoshi from the previous arcs is that she doesn't think he transferred away, which is obvious because he didn't. He actually disappeared, or I forgot what Teishi said, that maybe he ran away or whatever, and she was like, oh, Satoshi wouldn't do that. So we don't actually know too much. I'm sure she is looking for him. Maybe.
目的が全然違いますがね。
Very true.
私は単に無事を確認したいだけですが、大石のおじさまにとっては逮捕が目的でしょうから。
主婦殺しが決着すればサトシ君は無実ってことになりますよ。真実はどうかは別にしてもね。
怪しいもんです。
Excuse me. Can't laugh at that look, Oishi. It's weird. Oishi chuckled again, but his smile didn't reach his eyes.
まあ今後も仲良くやりましょう。敵の敵は味方とも言いますしね。
Again, Xian's a smart girl, but as long as she doesn't get tunnel visioned, I think it's fine. But we obviously saw Oishi easily doing the dangling a carrot above her head last episode, so
別に私、園崎本家と敵対しているわけじゃありませんよ。
なあ、本当に？ならそりゃ失礼。
This is the way of Kurudo Oishiha. I just also realized, I wonder what Satoko's going through. It just made me sad. Just because my wallpaper is a Satoko Rika one, and I just saw Satoko from the tournament, and I'm like, oh man, this is probably like super sad for her. But I doubt we'll see it, at least right away, since again, it's not like Shion's in that group, so... Unlucky. As Sis and Kasai would said, I wouldn't want him as my enemy or my ally because both would be too risky. That is a very good observation of Oishi, honestly. I probably shouldn't let my guard down in front of this big fat weasel. I sipped on the coffee to fill up the silence, though I wasn't thirsty. Outside the window, I could see normal life taking its course. But Satoshi-kun wasn't there. He should have been there, but he wasn't. I was scared that I might grow used to his absence someday. Where was he?
サトシ君はどうしてるんだろう。
無事だといいんですがね。
チェ、生きてる可能性は薄いとか思っているくせに。
I think he might be dead too.
気休め言わないでほしいです。
サトシ君の失踪、ひなみ沢じゃなんて言われてるか知ってます？
Ani Takushi.
え？
鬼隠しにあったなんて言われてるんだとか。
To be demon away means the same thing as being spirited away. It's part of the local dialect.
鬼が淵の間の底の鬼の国にさらわれたって？バカバカしい。
とにもかくにも連続開始事件もこれで4年目です。気の早い話ですがね、来年もまた起こるんじゃないかなんてもうささやかれてるんだとか。
Yep.
おば殺しがお社様のたたりのせいだって言うんですか？
What was the Himatsubushi order for that canon? The canon. Well, I don't know if you can count it as canon, but what they said Tomotachi Takano died, Obishi's partner went missing, and then Rika died. I feel like I'm missing one disappearance, but again, Keiichi wasn't dead, which was one of the catalysts of supporting him not being real. Or something like that. It's alright.
全体的に見てみれば仏も北条家の一人。
Hojo's.
ダム戦争の戦犯と縁がないわけじゃないですから。
Oh, the ant. Right. Not Satoshi.
しかもまたしても綿流しの日にとなれば面白がる連中が現れるのも無理もないことです。
It's understandable, especially if it happens 4 times in a row. It's kind of ridiculous.
バカバカしい。何がお社様のたたりだ。
Though I said that, I couldn't quite wipe away that fear from my mind. Honestly, if I was there, I would also start to feel weird too. Like 2 times happening twice in 2 years is like, that's coincidence, but after that it's just kind of weird. Though I mean, even 2 times is still kind of weird. Why did Satoshi-kun disappear? Was it the Sonozaki family? Did he run away from the police? Did he really kill his aunt in the first place? Why did he even disappear? He's on his own. Oyashiro-sama's curse has nothing to do with it. But... That's strange. Satoshi-kun and Oyashiro-sama's curse. Somebody once mentioned those two together before. Mion, maybe? I was gonna say the Anto, but he wouldn't mention Satoshi, so... It's probably Mion. Like right after the talk with the Anto. Though I don't think they mentioned Satoshi and the curse in the same sentence. Where did I hear that? Ah, that's right. That rainy day. Oh, Rena. Duh. Okay, yes, Rena gave us that whole creepy speech. Completely slipped my mind. Well, we did need to get back to Rena. She already made her presence. I was hoping it wouldn't pull a Takano, where she just wasn't prevalent in the rest. But unlike Takano, she's not supposed to be dead, so this is fine. Time for some Rena confrontation. Great. Ah, that's right. That rainy day. It was Rena Ryugu who told me that when we were taking shelter in the shack. Gulp. I remember the creepy story that she told me at that time.
Satoshi-kun は心のどこかでひなみ沢を捨ててどこかへ逃げ出したいと思ってるから。
That's what Rena Ryugu said. Rena had definitely pointed out that Satoshi-kun wanted to leave Hinamizawa at that time. She also said,
サトシ君が体験していることはすべてお社様のたたりの前触れなの。
She said that. For sure. She had definitely mentioned Oyasho-sama's curse. The series of mysterious deaths has struck 4 times. Was Satoshi-kun being controlled by the curse? Is that why he killed his aunt and was demoned away? No way. That can't be true. Satoshi-kun's smile faded away in my mind, replaced with an evil Hawu. Satoshi-kun disappeared. Not only that, the reason for his disappearance also disappeared. It must have been done by a human being. I can't accept that he was demoned away. I hate how these aren't recorded somewhere. That really sucks. Is that fine for a chapter break? I'm gonna take it. And if we need to, we can have a longer video, since it is a long weekend, so have a lot of recording time. That feels good enough for a chapter break. It's 2 a.m. or about to hit 2 a.m. 40-minute. You got 2 1-hour videos in a row. Let's chill a bit and start the week off with some more long videos. But thank you for watching. This was very interesting. We finally got the culprit, or the lunatic that took credit for the murder. A bit more of a stronger claim than I had originally just assumed he had, because apparently he has knowledge of it. Looks like we're gonna investigate Rena, maybe. Still need a confrontation with Mia, and we know that's gonna happen. I mean, there's probably gonna be more than one. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. Fun time. And make sure to come back next week. Monday, which is a holiday, which I don't actually know what the holiday is, but apparently it's a civic holiday. And yeah, chapter 8. I don't actually remember how many chapters are usually in an arc, but we're definitely at least at the halfway point, so pretty excited. But yeah, I'm gonna go brush my teeth and go to sleep. Hopefully you have a great day or night wherever you live, and I will see you later. See ya.